people wonder why there aren't more women in STEM. I'm going to tell you why through an anecdote. In 3rd grade, we went on a field trip to a big science museum. There were 5 of us in my group: Michael D, Michael M, Karthik, Mark, and myself. My dad was chaperoning. So we're going through the museum. Everything is great. They have all kinds of demonstrations. So we get to this one on electrons. And there's a real live scientist doing the demonstration for our group of 5. He gave a whole lecture on electrons. And then he had this little experiment thing. And he let Mark do it. And then both Michaels. And then Karthik. And then he went on to the next thing he had to say. The guy kept on lecturing. In the middle of his lecturing, my dad goes, "Come on, kids, let's go to the next exhibit." So I asked my dad a little bit later, I'm like, "Why did you make us leave the electron exhibit?" And I'll never forget this. He goes, "When that scientist was talking, he didn't once look at you. When he would ask a question, and you would raise your hand each time, did he once call on you? And when he was letting the group participate in the experiment, did every other kid in that group except you get to participate?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, that scientist ignored you in favor of the boys." And he explained that that's called sexism, and it was unfortunately something that existed in the world. And I'm so thankful that he did that, because 99% of people would have stayed there because they would have been afraid of making a scene or insulting the scientist or something like that. But my dad knew it was wrong, and I learned a lot of science stuff that day. And because so many people would usually just let that slide, the problem just keeps persisting through the years, right? So when you look at the statistics of there are so many more male scientists versus female scientists, and people go, "Oh, females just aren't as interested in science." You might want to look at the views held by society and the opportunities afforded to them and how people step in or don't when there are injustices. Now, that happened back in the mid-2000s, so there was a lot less of this dialogue, so I'm sure and hopeful that it has gotten better. But the statistics do speak for themselves, and STEM is still more male-dominated. And a lot of people attribute that to the fact, oh, men just have brains built for that. But there are so many reasons that's not true. In my anecdote and how it shows how people have historically viewed the genders and what they should be doing, paints a clearer picture.